can you get a block plane that actually works for less than £50, $60? Let's start with some of the cheaper ones. I'm calling this Old Red. And for the packaging, I can't tell if it's made by Delicate or maybe Use Luck. They're both written on the box, neither of which are great names. The body is made from one sheet of metal folded into shape, and that doesn't cry out that the sole is going to be flat. The mechanism feels like an old tin car made from more folded metal. And the rest, well, the rest is cheap plastic. But I'm trying to be open-minded during the setup. And this is how I'm going to do it for every single hand plate. The soles are going to be flattened on 120 grit diamond plate or sandpaper stuck down to a flooring tile. And this sole, well, this sole never made it flat. But that didn't come really as a surprise. But I do have a flattish section straight down the middle. 7 minutes total graft. And now onto the second part of the setup, the iron. All irons are honed on the same diamond plates. And the criteria is simple. The back of the iron has to be flat. And the primary bevel has to be flat and polished. And lastly, a secondary bevel needs to be created. Once that's done, I get it razor sharp on the diamond plates, finishing it off on the strop. Total time spent on the iron, 16 minutes. Now a quick look at this plane shows you what cheap gets you. There's no real support under the iron. The plastic wheel that's supposed to hold the iron down slips on the thread and never gets tight. And there's no lateral adjust or depth adjustment, just tapping. But after a total setup time of 23 minutes, I guess we can give it a test. And frankly, the results are quite surprising. The first pass was the first surprise. Nice finish, no tear out. Not perfect, but that's probably down to the sole, but 8 out of 10. Second test, chamfering, 10. This time, it didn't miss a beat. I suspect as we were chamfering a much thinner piece of wood, it probably found the only flat bit on the sole. Flush trimming was a little bit harder, a little bit more tear out. And it was during the 100 pass challenge that it started to feel every bit the crude hand plane that it is. But it made it through. So the bads, there was plenty of chattering. The sides got really hot. The iron slipped out of alignment once, but where the body lets this down, and it does, the actual quality of the iron itself carried it through. And that was shown with the final pass, which shockingly was as good as the first. This is a bit of a shock. And you may be surprised, but out of 10, I'm placing it a solid 7th. How much does Old Red cost? Old Red costs £8.50 in the UK, $9.90 in the US. If you enjoyed that, there's a link down in the description for the full YouTube video where I test 10 block planes just like this one. Go check it out.